Oh my god, it's another Monday Wheezy Waiter video. WheezyNews, excuse me. That's exactly what you said, verbatim. Week 8 of the strength training. I can't remember now if that means I've done 8 weeks or I'm about to do the 8th week. Well, regardless, I am still doing it. Noticing slow improvement, slight improvement. It's not, this is what's hard about it. It's not like one day you flip a switch and you're like, well, I did it. It's slow. It takes time. And if I maintain, as far as what I eat, if I maintain the proper amount of calories, I want to reduce this belly. So, but I don't want to eat not enough because you need calories to build muscle. It's kind of, I mean, there's a debate out there about, should you can't build muscle if you're going to also lose weight. Well, it's not about losing weight for me. It's about losing the belly. So I know many of you are going to have your opinions about what to do, but I have been paying attention to what I eat and trying to have a slight less amount of calories than amount would be to maintain weight. And at the rate I'm going, I think I should lose like half a pound a week, or to get down to a weight that I want to be at, while also toning my muscles, making sure I'm eating enough protein. And that is happening, but it's slow. It's hard to even notice, and that's the big challenge. But I do know, especially on days when I don't work out, when I take a rest, I feel like I stronger. I don't know. Feel like I can get up, sit down, and have more energy. Like I'm not winded going up and down stairs. But it's also slight, and it's also hard to tell if it's just that, do I actually feel better, or is it just that I don't feel tired because I didn't work out? I think it's probably a little of both, but it's a minor change, but it's happening. Everyone says that it takes about 3 months before people notice a difference, before a noticeable difference happens, and I'm not at 3 months. This is week 8 or 9. Beginning week 8, or I'm about to begin week 9, I don't remember, which is only 2 months ish. So just kind of keep doing it. Luckily, I do enjoy the working out. It's a time to watch things. I watched Future Man. Have you seen Future Man on Hulu? Definitely not for the kiddies, but or the kiddos, if you want to say, but Seth Rogen produced. It's ridiculous. I think it particularly appeals to people who were in their adolescence in the 90s, such as me. A lot of reference to that. Time travel, crazy sci-fi, but also Seth Rogen comedy. And I was watching that while working out. I was watching season 3. I didn't even know season 3 was out until I just randomly looked. I didn't see the news about it or anything. I felt like there was bigger fanfare for season 2. Anyway, not that many people watch it anyway. It's a Hulu series. Who watches Hulu series? Come on. But it's great. And I finished it. And I highly recommend it if you are someone who likes things that I like. I guess that's unnecessary to say. I think that's implied when anyone recommends anything. Not really. Some people like to recommend things they think that everyone will like, even though they might not like it that much. You can do that. That's possible. Might be wrong. It's possible. Anyway, doing the working out. Just keeping fighting the good fight. Feeling a bit lazy the past few days. Past few days weren't workout days. Maybe that's why. Maybe I need to work out and kick myself back into high gear. Tried intentionally to take off, stop working. I've been working like every day on something for a while. Like even like not giving myself a weekend or anything. So I decided to give myself a bit of a weekend the past few days. Also, there's several things to discuss. One being that I'm about to hit 1 million subscribers on the Wheezy Waiter channel, the main channel. Wow. I'm at 998,300 something, I think, right now. And it's going up pretty quickly. And I think one reason it's going up faster than it has been in the past month or two is because I mention it earlier in a video in the main channel, in the most recent video. I make a joke about subscribing, but it's also real. Like, hey, subscribe. And it's stupid how that works. How telling people to do things leads to an increase of people doing that thing. Like if you tell people to like your video, and if you tell people to like your video earlier in the video, you'll get more likes than you would have. It's hard to prove because you can't say, you don't know how many likes you would have gotten without saying that. And I do think it was a particularly funny video that I made. I like it. It's pretty good. I can understand why it could lead to more people subscribing. But I really think the main reason is because I mentioned it. And I think a lot of people don't even realize that is what worked. That's what caused people to subscribe. I have to be very conscious of what causes me to do anything on the internet. And if I think about it really hard, it ends up becoming something really dumb, like the title or a thumbnail of something I click on. Like after the fact, I'm like, oh crap, I know why I clicked on this. The title worked on me. I often see, if I make a particularly eye-catching title, even if it's I always try to make it accurate, an accurate description of what the video is. I don't try to be unfair about it. But if I make a particularly good one that works, I'll see so many comments, not so many, but some comments that are angry people about clickbait. People who are like, man, why don't you go back to doing blah, 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 or whatever you were doing? But I guarantee those people wouldn't have clicked on the video in the first place. They've stopped watching what I've done a long time ago anyway. They're only dropping in because the title worked on them, because the thumbnail worked on them. And it's just the way the internet works. It's unfortunate. I wish there was a better way. But you have to get attention if you want to do this as a business or as a career, or if you just want to get the word out about something. You have to do things to get attention, because there are a lot of things out there. And what was the point I was getting to with this? Oh yeah, well, so I said subscribe early on in the previous video, and I didn't think I was being sneaky. I didn't think it was gonna really work that well, but it's worked pretty well. The subscribership has gone up more. And it also helps that I'm saying, well, I'm almost at 1 million, and people might be getting excited about that. But the rate it's going, I think I'm gonna get there pretty soon. The next week. Well, it depends on the reaction to the next video I put up. Sometimes I put up a video and everything comes to a halt. Sometimes I put up a video and everything shoots up more. So I don't know. But I think pretty soon I'm gonna hit 1 million. I have no plan for what to do when I hit 1 million. I don't necessarily want to have a huge plan. I'll probably make a video like, why do people like Wheezy Waiter, or why do people like high numbers, or I don't know. Why do people like numbers? But it won't be, I don't think it'll be like a really high production video. It'll be more like a thank you celebration video for hitting 1 million. Maybe a clone or two will show up. I don't know. It'll be for the people subscribed. I won't be trying to target any other audience besides the people who are already here. So it'll be nice. It'll be a nice little discussion. And very inside in the Wheezyverse, probably. Anyway, about to hit 1 million. It's pretty exciting. How do I actually feel about it? I feel great about it. I mean, I want to say, numbers don't matter and it's stupid, but I want to hit 1 million. I want that gold play button. I really do. And I know that it's just a number. Doesn't matter. Gold play button's just a piece of metal. But I don't know. Gotta have some kind of milestone, I guess. Don't have to. And I don't know. I think 1 million subscribers doesn't mean as much as it used to. There are tens of thousands of people who have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And you can have 1 million by just manipulating the system and getting really high subscriber count. You can have 1 million and not very many people watch your videos. You can have 1 million and way more than 1 million watch your videos. The number is not an indication of really any quality of the channel, of what you do. It just shows that you were able to draw in a bunch of people to subscribe, not even necessarily to watch. I compiled that many people almost over 13 years. I think one of the things I'm really proud of is how my longevity, how long I've been doing this, and how it's still a career, and it's even better now. And I turned the channel around and reinvented it a little bit to keep it going. I'm proud of that. And to me, my 1 million represents a commitment to making the best things I can make over a long period of time, and trying to use my powers for good. I guess that's what the 1 million subscriber landmark. Landmark? Is that the right word? It works, but that's what it means to me for my channel. And the gold play button, it also represents just not giving up, over this long period of time. If I would have got it right away, it would have meant something else, but it means not giving up. Lots of people get this far and then give up, or much further and give up, or stop caring, go away. So I'm proud of that. And that's about it for my 1 million subs discussion. There's another thing I want to talk about, procrastination. The last video, how to stop procrastination by reducing decision fatigue. And then I made a playlist about stopping procrastination, because the other video I made was about the 10-minute rule. But someone commented something, and it got me thinking. Something that I've already, I suppose, considered, but didn't really think about it that much. But this comment from Cryptonymicus. Procrastination is the first line of defense against things that do not really need to be done. If you put something off long enough, you'll forget about it, and in a great many cases, it won't make the slightest bit of difference. And that got me thinking, because if I'm being 100% honest, I think most of my life I have procrastinated around big projects. And most of the time, it's fine. Most of the time, I get it done, and there's no guarantee that it would have been any better had I not procrastinated. But the benefit of procrastinating is the freedom I had to not work on things all the time. I was able to live a life rather than work. I mean, but the downside, if the quality of the end product isn't a factor, the downside is the worry, like the back of the mind worry, like, ooh, I got to get that done. Ooh, I got to get that done. By procrastinating, the worry doesn't go away. If you can make the worry go away and also procrastinate, then it's a beautiful thing. Unless you really need the time, and the end product will be worse if you procrastinate. I think there are cases where had I not worked for a really long time, it would have been worse. It's hard to say if there are cases where had I procrastinated longer, it would have been, I don't know. I do think like most of my like term papers I had to do, or videos or what have you from college that I had to do, or high school, most of the time I put it off until a day or two before, and then just kind of worked on it and got it done. And it was fine. It was pretty good. I had a screenplay class in college. The final assignment for the whole semester was to write a 30-page script. And I started it and like went back and forth about what I wanted to happen in it for a while, but did not actually write it until the night before it was due. We went to a Modest Mouse concert in Chicago. Went to school in Madison. Went to a Modest Mouse concert in Chicago. I think it was that night. It's a 2.5-hour drive to Chicago. Drove there, watched the concert, drove home, and then I stayed up all night long writing the script. I struggle when I write. I've told you this. It takes me a while to just decide what the best thing is to come next. A lot of that decision fatigue video is really comes from my struggle with writing things and deciding what's the best path forward. And I stayed up all night long and I wrote the thing, and I was dead tired after a Modest Mouse concert, after 5 hours of driving. And I remember I had to make copies for the class. So I went and then they would take it home that day, and then the next week discuss my script. And so it's not just writing and turning it in to a teacher. The whole class is going to read this thing and critique it. So I went to the copy store, copying place, copied it up, had a little box, walked to the classroom, dropped it off, left, didn't stay for class. I went right back home and went to bed because I was dead. And how I felt about that script, I didn't really like it. I didn't really like how it turned out. I couldn't end it. It felt kind of pointless. It had a lot of funny things in it. I liked a lot of the jokes. It was a script about a psychic hotline. Main character who needs to pay rent, doesn't have any money. I think that was probably always on my mind for characters back then, because being in college and just worrying about being broke. And he had a certain amount of time to get his money, so he got a job at a psychic hotline. And just kind of the weird, quirky things that happen at the psychic hotline. I don't even remember what the plot was, because I honestly don't think there was much of one. I think about that. I haven't read that script in years, but I think about that script pretty often. I want to go back and make it better, make a good story out of it. It was called Suddenly Psychic. I can't remember if I toyed with the idea of him actually being psychic, discovering that he was accidentally actually psychic. Maybe that's what happens on the script. I don't remember. But I just stumbled my way through it, and I got an okay grade, I think. And the class didn't hate it. I think they liked a lot of the jokes. I took a lot of creative writing classes, and that was the general consensus of my writing was they thought it was funny. I don't ever think it rarely would come together as like a nice, complete story to me, or to the class. And there are always little things I struggled with these stories that I wrote. But had I written that script throughout the semester, if I had written it, slowly adding piece by piece, would it have ended up being better than procrastinating to the last day? I doubt it. I've written other things. It always ends up kind of good, kind of not. Maybe if I would have written it early and just realized I didn't like it and then changed it. I actually do remember changing it. I changed my idea halfway through the semester. I went to my teacher and I said, I have this new concept I'd rather do because I just can't write this. And he didn't like my new concept. He wanted me to stick with the original. So went back. But had I written it slowly, I don't know that it would have been better in the end. I feel like the first draft of anything ends up being kind of crappy. Just had to get through that first draft. But waiting till the end, I was able to not worry about it as much. Maybe I was constantly worried about it. I don't know. Point is, procrastination isn't always so bad. I think because when you constantly worry about getting things done every moment, that's too much. At times, that's too much hustle. You need a break. You need to live your life. I think that can lead to better creativity if you're doing creative things. Do things for no reason. Do things that make no sense. Do things just for fun. Watch movies, read books, play games, hang out with friends when we don't have a pandemic, or just online. When you're constantly worrying about getting it done, I feel like that's at a level of stress that's worse than the worry of not doing anything, the procrastination worry, the constant worry, what's next, to me might be too much. The back of the mind worry about, I got to get this done. I think that's easier sometimes. So anyway, that comment got me really thinking about procrastination and how it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know that I ever really thought that procrastination is not necessarily a bad thing. Safeguards you from work that you don't need to be doing. If you're working all the time on one thing, you probably are doing more. You're overworking on a thing. I talk a lot about like fidelity. How much does fidelity matter? How much does getting the best camera, having the best effects, worrying about spending a lot of money, putting a lot of time into lighting and all this stuff when you're making a video. If you're in the mindset where you feel like I should always be improving, I should always be trying to see if this works, see if that works, you're probably going to be doing too much work. You're going to be wasting energy. If your mind is more on just the end result, like, well, I got to have that done by that time. I'll wait. And then by the end, you only have so much time. Maybe that's dangerous. But in my experience, most of the time, it's fine. And it ends up fine. So procrastination is not necessarily bad. I feel like if I made a video about this, I would do a little more research and have more to say, more insightful things to say about this idea than what I'm saying off the cuff right now. But that's how these videos work. Another thing, so I don't remember how much I said in last Monday's video, but I was planning on doing a video where China and I swing dance. Still going to do it, not going to do it as soon. I realized that we need more time than a week, which is what it was going to be. So that's been put off. And I also didn't want to rush to get that done. I told you I needed a break. So I decided to put that off and do something that's not going to be as hard. And then the next video after that was going to be, what was it going to be? Why do people like alcohol? That I've also pushed to another time because that is going to be a big one. A lot of interviews, and I want to get it right. And I don't want to need a little break right now. Or do something a little easier. So push that off. What I'm going to do instead is a couple of videos. Next video is going to be China and I talk about our relationship. We talk about, it's another China Craig talking video, but this one's not really a questionnaire like the other ones were. This is just more a conversation about why our relationship works. Because a lot of people say like relationship goals, or you guys are great for each other make it sound like I'm annoyed by that. Oh, you guys are the perfect relationship. When we do the China Craig videos. So I want to do a video just honestly talking about our relationship and why we think it works, what we think doesn't work, and what maybe maybe impressions we give off that maybe aren't exactly right in those videos. I think in general they are right. I don't think we're really hiding anything. It's not like we don't fight. It's not like we're constantly perfect. But I think we do have a good relationship, and I want to talk about that and just kind of figure out why. So that'll be the next video. And the video after that is going to be how I became a YouTuber. I don't know if that's going to be the title, like something like that, like what I did to make my dream career or whatever. Maybe this will come off of the hitting 1 million subscribers, but it'll be about my journey as a YouTube creator and the things I did to get here. Things you can do to achieve your dreams, basically. But in a very practical, real way, as real as I can get. And the things that I've thought about for that. Actually, I have it written down here somewhere, don't I? Some of the things that I did that led to the career I have. I think the foundation of education I got from college and just messing around with cameras since a little kid really helped. But particularly the things that helped in college were the creative writing classes and the screenwriting class. The sitting in a room with people everyone critiquing your story, and you critiquing other people's stories, being forced to write things and then being critiqued by them about them. So valuable. I think I took 4 creative writing classes and a screenwriting class, because you learn how to take criticism. You learn how the audience. I mean, I don't know that I knew this every time someone critiqued me. I think I had some evil thoughts, some thoughts about like, oh, they don't know, they don't understand, this person's an idiot. But you have to go through that. You have to take the criticism and then learn how to take it. Learn how to take it better than I was at first. And assume positive intent when. I think I learned that you should assume positive intent when people are critiquing what you do. Not think about ulterior motives, because they're just classmates. They're assigned to critique you, so they're doing it, and it just gives you an honest look, an honest experience about, I made this thing. This is how an audience reacts to it. You learn how audiences react to the things you create, in a very face-to-face way, not like comments on the internet, which can be more easily written off. They're not always. I mean, they can hurt too, or they can help too. But face-to-face is something else, and just doing that over and over again helped me a lot. And just being forced to write things for a class just helped me. And then after college, like, wasted a lot of time. Didn't do things that were useful, probably. Although I did write songs and make songs and perform songs with my band for years. I think that helped. It's more of the creative exercise. But then I think that one of the big things I did was I saved money. I learned how to properly save money by my late 20s, probably. Like, I was living month to month, paycheck to paycheck for a while, not doing so hot. And then my dad told me every shift, I was waiting tables, every shift, when you're done, put away $20. So I got an online account and I put away $20 somewhere, which was harder to get out directly. And every time I made more than $50 at a shift, I'd put in 20. And then sometimes when I made like a lot of money, I would put in 50. Slowly over a period of time, I saved up enough money to buy a laptop, but then I kept saving money. And just having that savings behind me gave me the confidence to try things, to do stupid stuff. And then, I'll have to figure out exactly what all these things on the list will be for the video, but I copied someone who inspired me. I copied Zay Frank for a while, and then I made things over and over and over and over and over again. I made a lot of things. Camera stops after a half hour. So I learned some fundamental knowledge, saved money, copied someone who inspired me, and made a ton of stuff. Those are basically the things I did. Just made things over and over. It became a source of a thing. Because I was consistent and because I kept making things, people who subscribed knew what they were getting, and I would just keep doing it. I became this source of this weird Wheezy waiter thing. And to people in my real life and to my in my IRL life, in real life, in-person life, I guess. And my IRL doesn't really work, does it, anymore? Real life is online life. It's like in-person life, offline, I guess. But in my in-person life, I became a person known for making videos. Oh, he's the guy who makes things. The reason I'm known for being a guy who makes things is because I was making them, not because I was saying that I was that guy, not because I aspired to be that guy. It was because I was making things. Become known as the person who does those things. Like, I made a bunch of videos. That led to my office job because I had friends in an office whose boss, their boss was looking for a video person for their company. And they were like, oh, we know a guy who makes videos. And the reason they know is because I was making them for over and over again for a while. It didn't matter if they were great or not. I mean, they were pretty great. No, I don't know. They were my early Wheezy videos. A lot of my friends liked them. I think I was getting a lot of positive feedback, and so I kept making them. But I don't know, didn't feel very professional to me at all. Like, I was just doing weird stuff. But it worked. I became known as the person because people see me doing that. It's like, oh, he must know what he's doing, even though I really didn't. I just did things, and I did them over and over. It took about 3 years before I found any audience on YouTube. It took about less than 1 year before I started getting video-related jobs, though, because I was doing that stuff. It was jobs I wasn't even necessarily seeking out. They came to me because I was making these things. And I guess those are the ways that I became a YouTuber. Just like pretty simple, straightforward. Get a fundamental bit of knowledge, save money, emulate someone who inspires you, make a ton of stuff. Just make a ton of stuff. Don't worry about it being great. Especially if it's, you're not getting paid for it. No one's asking you to make it. It's easier to not worry about it being great then. Just do it. Just put it together. Yeah. So that video will basically be about that. So those two videos, not so interview heavy, not so research heavy. And then another video I'm going to do is getting up early and playing video games. Doesn't sound like much work, but it will be for me. I'm going to try to get up early, play an hour of video games. I don't play a lot of video games. I do well. It's not true. Played a lot of Hollow Knight. I played a lot of Stardew Valley there for a while in the evenings. But this will be like a morning regimen. Like, get up, play. And if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen me go through the whole process of deciding what games I'm going to play. This morning, I live streamed Horizon Zero Dawn, which is one of the games I'm going to play every morning. I'm not going to play that game every morning. I'll play a game every morning. That will be one of them. I live streamed it on Wheezy Gamer. Do you know I have a gaming channel? Wheezy Gamer. I've had it for years, but I haven't been updating in a long time. I streamed my whole run through of Zelda Breath of the Wild, if you want to check that out, but also the new Horizon Zero Dawn. I live streamed this morning, and I might live stream every morning I do this. I'm not sure, but it's gonna be for a main channel video to see if playing video games every morning improves my day, improves my productivity, improves my mood, wakes me up. I don't know what it'll do, but I wanna see if that does something. Like I always go back to The Good Stuff, another channel I used to make things on. We did a whole playlist about sleep, and I talked to doctors at Stanford University and sleep doctors. And one of them, I asked him, like, he said he wakes up refreshed every morning. Like, how do I do that? How do I wake up refreshed? And one of his suggestions was do something fun right when you wake up. Do something that will make you want to wake up. I like video games, so why not just do something fun? Get up, play, because most of the time I wake up and I just go, okay, what do I have to get done? And then I'll just go do the thing I have to get done, which is not inspiring. It's not motivating, you know? Maybe if I get up and I play video games first, it'll be motivating. Well, we're going to find out. So those are the things that are coming up on the main channel. And what else is going on? This is a podcast. I'll remind you again. You can download and listen rather than watch me talk. Or you can just continue watching me talk. Whatever you want to do. Live your life. You can subscribe to the main channel if you haven't already, so I can get to that mill. Or the Wheezy Gamer channel. Did you know that my friend Jake and I have a podcast called Movied, where we review movies? Lately, we've started reviewing the top U.S. movie on Netflix. Whatever is the top movie on Saturdays, we will, I don't know, a few days later, we'll review it on our podcast. We reviewed 365 Days, which is, I'll spoil it, it's a terrible movie. It's a very pornographic movie. But we reviewed that because that was number one for whatever reason. There was a lot of TikTok memeing going on, I think, about it. So it was number one on Netflix. And then last Saturday was the number one was actually 2 Saturdays ago. I don't know what we're going to review next. That Jake is the one paying attention. But we did Patriots Day. That was number one for obvious reasons around 4th of July. And that's a podcast. Just you can check that out. It's another thing going on. What else is going on? I do Wheezy Mondays every Monday. And you can subscribe here for that. The podcast. I have a Patreon, which I do these kind of videos every single day on. Not quite this long, but every single day. And main channel, or Wheezy Monday playlist, main channel, link maybe. Hi. Bye.